What's going on, guys? Aaron here. Welcome to the video. So what's going on with Bitcoin altcoins? I'm going to take a look at a lot of charts and give you guys my outlook on what I'm looking at, what I'm seeing, and what I'm doing. So just to remind you guys, before Trump took his first term in office in 2017, we saw a massive move down of around 31% up until very soon before he took office right here, January 20th. So historically, this move we're seeing right now is not that concerning to me with Bitcoin. We also saw Bitcoin hit this level of support yesterday of around $92,000. It actually hit 90,000 or 89. So this is a line that I drew in the sand, no pun intended, a while ago. It did hit it, but then it did obviously bounce back. And now, as of this video, Bitcoin's around $94,000, $95,000. But before I get into a couple charts from Into the Cryptoverse, I first just want to mention right here, the bull market support band is still at around this $80,000 to $82,000 price point. Now, this would not be uncommon or unheard of if the price of Bitcoin touches this. It would definitely rock the market, but you can see going all the way back, not even that far, Bitcoin has crossed this bull market support band many, many times. And for it to do so, again, really wouldn't be a big deal. So I say that because if you're concerned or you are terrified of Bitcoin going down a little bit lower or having another test of this maybe $85,000 price point or so, it may happen, and if it does happen, I would not be concerned, and I guess if I was talking to my mom, I would say don't be concerned. So a couple charts from Into the Cryptoverse, link below if you'd like to get these charts, 10% discount using my link. You can see the price of Bitcoin is still below the green line right here. This is taking a look at the Bitcoin logarithmic regression bands. So we are technically not in a bubble for Bitcoin. These are Bitcoin's percentage drawdowns from the all-time high. So this is where we are right now. Bitcoin is currently down around 10% below its all-time high. And you can see in previous bull markets going back to 2021, Bitcoin made some huge moves below its all-time high. So in January of 2021, Bitcoin went down 25% below its all-time high, which is crazy. Then in February, it had a 22% dip below its all-time high. In March, it had a 16% dip. In April, it had a 21% dip. The summer obviously was a much larger dip. But just to give you guys some perspective here, Bitcoin does dip quite a bit. And this is Ethereum's drawdowns from the all-time high. Let's take a look at 2021. Same thing. So we saw Ethereum dip 28% or so from its all-time high. This was February of 2021. And then we saw the price of ETH go from $1,500 all the way up to over $4,000 in the course of a few months, even after it dipped 25%. Bitcoin's risk level is still pretty low at around a 0.5. It's definitely not in peak bubble territory, at least to this chart. And then Bitcoin is still tracking its previous market cycles in terms of the ROI, return on investment, from the very beginning of the cycle. So we are this magenta line. These are the previous two cycles in green and orange. And you can see that we are a little bit below, but we are tracking still the previous market cycles. So when it comes to Bitcoin and altcoins, it really comes down to narrative, and narrative follows price. So there's price movements, there's liquidations, which we saw yesterday, and then we get a narrative about why is this happening? What's going on? Please help me make sense of what's happening here. So Julian Biddle on X said that he thinks that more rate cuts will happen in the course of this year. So he shows Fed rate cuts priced in through December 2025. That is going to be the black line right here. But he says that the rise in yields and the dollar, meaning the dollar going up, as you can see here, right here in the DXY, the dollar is going up a lot. This is going to lead to the US doing more rate cuts than they thought. So that would be a good thing for altcoins and all risk assets, including Bitcoin. If the Fed starts quantitative easing, essentially injecting liquidity in the market, that is a good sign, especially for altcoins. Let's take a look right here. We have Kathy Wood saying Bitcoin is hands down better than gold.
Bitcoin is a hedge against both inflation and deflation. Bitcoin is digital, and if you look at the incremental demand we're going to see But gold already has its demand, it's happened, right? Bitcoin is new and institutions are barely involved. Young people would much prefer to hold Bitcoin than to hold gold.
So she said a couple things that I think are important. Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation and deflation, and also that young people would rather hold Bitcoin than gold, which I do agree. So the estimated market cap for gold is around $18 trillion or so. But the thing is, we don't even know, because if the price of gold went up to $10,000 an ounce, we'd see a lot more production. We'd see a lot more literal mining, because they can just dig more up if it's worth more, right? You can't do that with Bitcoin. And the market cap for Bitcoin is around $1.8 trillion. So that's about a 10x less market cap than gold right now. So just do the math. 10x the price of Bitcoin. There you have gold. Maybe decrease it a little bit just to give yourself a cushion. So let's say $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 if it surpasses the market cap of gold. And we have some bullish news regarding Tether, El Salvador. Then we have a new ETF. We then have MicroStrategy and other companies buying more Bitcoin. I want to get to that in a second. First, though, if you want to trade, Weeks has some amazing bonuses, and they have a ton of spot altcoin pairs. Right here, let's say you wanted to pick up some, let me just find AVAX USDT. You would go right here. If you wanted to do a limit order, you could say, I want to buy AVAX if it hits $30, and then you can say how much you want to do or how much AVAX that you'd want. So for this example, if I wanted to pick up 1,000 AVAX, that would be a $30,000 buy. You can see here I have 10,000 USDT available. You could easily just click buy AVAX. Then if Avalanche hits $30, this limit order would be filled. So this exchange is a new channel partner, and if you want to check out their bonuses, I'll leave a link below for that. They have a lot going on, including futures. You can also play with a demo account as well, or you can just trade spot like I'm showing you right here. And again, they have a ton of different alt USDT pairs. And also BTCC is one of my favorites as well. They're given that 10% bonus on first-time deposits up to $10,055. Really low trading fees, and you can use my link below if you want to get some of these bonuses for yourself. So let's take a look right here. We have stablecoin issuer Tether to establish its headquarters in El Salvador. So some people are like, well, Tether is leaving because a lot of people are looking at them and there's a lot of scrutiny around Tether. But regardless, we have James Seyfarth saying that El Salvador's GDP was $34 billion in 2023, and Tether has a net profit of $10 billion in 2024. So that would be crazy, right? El Salvador could be this hub. It's already becoming this hub where maybe unwanted or persecuted companies, crypto companies, are going to land. And whether or not you think, Tether's a scam, it doesn't matter. This is what's happening. They are moving to El Salvador. And also, Canadian investors have another spot Bitcoin ETF from BlackRock. So this is essentially the Canadian version of IBIT, which is BlackRock's already established iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF. So that's good news. More ways for people to get access to Bitcoin, which if they buy Bitcoin or if they buy this ETF, BlackRock literally will acquire and store Bitcoin, so that does help the price. And as all of you guys were scared, well, not all of you guys, I actually bought Bitcoin at $90,000. I shared on my Twitter. Anyway, MicroStrategy has acquired 2,530 Bitcoin for $243 million at a price of $95,972 a Bitcoin. And there is another company that is essentially copying MicroStrategy, and it's called Semler Scientific. They bought $23 million of Bitcoin at a price of $98,000 per Bitcoin. So these companies know that Bitcoin is going up over the long run, and they are taking out cheap debt in order to buy Bitcoin. And finishing off, taking a look at the market. So over the last 24 hours, we've seen some coins up, some coins down. It's a very sideways, choppy market. Right here, this is where a lot of people are feeling it. So taking a look at categories over the last 7 days, not much is up, but a lot is down. We have AI meme coins down 34% over the last week. We have AI agents down 24%, gaming tokens down 20. A lot of coins are down. So this is where, like I shared in my last video, a lot of people are freaked out. Some people are like, I want to get out of crypto. I'm tired of this crap. And I'm like, well, if that's what you want to do, I'm not going to say don't do it. Just do whatever you want to do. But these dips, in my experience, in my opinion, again, are normal. And you're not going to get insane growth without the volatility. Like I showed earlier in the video, Ethereum had massive dips on its way from $1,500 to $4,000 back in 2021. So on the way to do more than a 2x in price, it was dipping 20 to 30% on its way up. So just keep that in perspective, guys. I hope you are well. Check out the links below for Into the Cryptoverse, but also for Weeks to get those bonuses at that exchange, and also BTCC to get their 10% bonus on your first time deposit. I hope you are well. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.